Hey guys, what's going on? Justin Boss Nasty Silva back again for another brand new video series. Now let me just double check real quick to make sure that my mic is working. Oh my god, thank you so much, it is. Lovely. Okay, so like I was saying, brand new video series. And this is a video series that I really wanted to make because I know a lot of people out there. I hinted at this in a couple of my videos previously, and I'm finally starting to get around to doing it. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, why are we in Paint with Boss Nasty? Why are we looking at an overhead map layout of Sanctuary? And the answer is quite simple. The answer is because the majority of you people out there do not understand strategy for shit. And I'm just have to be honest, I do. I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. A lot of y'all have no idea what strategy is. A lot of you people have no idea what a proper setup looks like. A lot of you people have no idea what a choke point is. It's like you're guessing, sadly enough. It's very unfortunate, almost. And so this is really one of those things that I really wanted to make sure that I did. And so this video series is going to be Boss Nasty's school or education, I guess, we might say. And so, excuse me, I had to get a sip of water there for a moment. Now, as I was saying, was that, like I said, this is going to be a new video series. It's going to be Boss Nasty's Education, or something like Boss Nasty Academy, or the Boss Nasty School for Learning. Something like that. I'll figure out the title, obviously, as we go along. But real quick, let's dive in now. The first episode of, I think I might just call it the Boss Nasty Academy, BNA. I like that. That sounds nice. So, yes. Anyways, though, but real quick, let's go ahead and get right into it because this is something that I really want to start doing. Now, episode 1, we're going to be breaking down Sanctuary. Now, I have a bunch of visual aids that I'm going to be utilizing and using for you guys here today. And what we're going to be going over is we're going to break down simple things. Now, obviously, you can see just by looking at the overhead, you see a lot of the spawn points. You see, these have been updated, and I obviously have to go ahead and take a newer picture from the newer version, which definitely would have been a good idea to do before I even did this. But once again, that's okay. We'll just go with it for now. The majority of the spawn points are pretty much the same. But as you can see, you see your spawn points over there. If we look at the rock area, top right corner, you see you got a couple spawn points right there behind your one rock. You got one right there behind your mid 2 rock. You have a couple. If you look at the bottom left hand corner of the picture, you see you have a couple over there at your bottom rock ramp. Then if you go to the right of that, if you look bottom middle, right on the right side of ring of R2 or ring, and then you go straight down into the court, you see you got 4 spawn points around there. So very spread out, as we can see. You got some over there back turret, you got some right in front of turret. So they're really all over the place from what we can see so far. Now the great thing about looking at spawn points from an overhead view is because it allows you to really get a good feel for the map, saying, okay, you know what, wow, if I put a guy here, here, and here, I'm going to be able to force the spawn here. These are things that you can do from looking at an overhead view of the map, and this is what I strongly recommend everyone doing. But let's go ahead and dive right in. So let's go ahead and we're going to be starting off with going over choke points. Now this is a big thing I really want to talk about because the majority of you have no idea what the hell a choke point is. Sadly, you guys don't even know strategy. It's sad, but today we're going to change that. Today we're going to make it to where you guys have a greater idea for what you want to look for. Now, let me go ahead. I want to try this real quick. I want to see if this will be a better example of the choke point that I want to talk about. So here you go. So here's one choke point. I'm going to show you one choke point. We're going to go over right now. Ooh, that's a circle. And Boss Nasty does not want to do a circle. I apologize. I want to do a rectangle. Okay, here we go. So bam. So here, for everyone's enjoyment, this is one choke point right here. This is your carbine side of the map. Now notice this. I really want to hammer this home. Notice how you cannot get from your rocks, which would be over here. Let me just point this out, just so I can hammer this home. If you are around this area, hang on, oops, I don't want that. Let me get the clear stuff. Okay, if you are around this area where this circle is right here in your rock area, and you want to get to the court side of the map, which the court side of the map is right here, right? Where the small circle is. If you want to get it from the big circle to the small circle, you have to go through the rectangle. This is a choke point, meaning that you have to cross or go through this area to get to the other side. It's almost like an intersection. You have to pass through the intersection If you want to make your left-hand turn, if you want to advance onto the next street, whatever it may be. These are things that you can focus on when you are trying to break down a map, when you're trying to come up with a strategy, right? So, for example, if you put someone on, for example, let me get a line out or some I haven't really messed around too much. I wish I could get like an arrow or something like that. It'd be so amazing. Okay, right here. So let's say you want to put someone like right here. Right, you want to put someone like right here, you know, on your R2, right where the line is, right where it's made that line. You can put someone on your R2, your R1, right? Now, if you put someone up here on your R2, which is, you know, right there where you see the line connecting to the rectangle, what you can now do is you can go ahead and you will be able to cover the choke point bottom. Now, also, if you end up transitioning like around here, let's say this is your movement line. Right here, you see where the long line, the short line. So if you're moving from R2 to R1 to your front 4 rock to your Jew rock, and you're just going back and forth between there, you're covering that whole choke point. By you moving to the Jew rock, right, or by you moving right over here to this area where you see my cursor, you will be able to cut off this line of sight. Because see, and what I'm referring to, this line is going under the bridge. Now that's the great thing you'll be able to do about that. Because see, remember, a lot of people will try and come around here and they'll try and flank you right here on this inside where the small line is. They will try and come on the inside from court. They'll try and whirve. They'll try and go like this, and then they'll come all the way up here, hugging this wall just so they can come right around in there. So I really just want to hammer that home with you guys. That really make sure you understand that. Because that is what a choke point is what we just saw right there. It's being able to, oh Lord Almighty, I thought I almost moved my books there for a moment. We're okay. As I was saying, is that when we are playing, you have to understand this is a choke point, fellas. This is, your carbine side is a choke point. They have to come through this side to get to the other side. So you can put someone on R2, you can put someone on like the mid-rock area over here. Another choke point is right here. So this is another choke point that you have. Right, and the reason now, you can almost say not only is this a main choke point just because there's a couple areas that they can move in between, right? Like you can come from the snipe bridge and then you can go into ring 2, you can come from Bon, you can come from the Jew jump, which is on the other side at the top of this second rectangle that I made, right? So you have 3 main points that you have to go through to get to the other side of the map. Now, understanding this, once again, is really going to allow you guys, the teams out there, to go over strategies and say, okay, look, maybe if I was intelligent enough and put like 2 guys in ring, you know, maybe let's just throw something out there. Let's just say, you know, I'm going to put someone like here, I'll put someone here, you know, maybe I'll put someone, you know, here at R2 or whatever, and, you know, I'll have him transition or whatever it may be. You know, you can put a guy right side of ring 2, left side of ring 2. This will allow you to... Look, this guy can cover here. Oh, crap. I don't want to do that. I need a line. What about I need a line now? So this guy can cover here. He can cover here. And he can cover here. Right? This guy on your right ring 2 can cover here, can cover the mid-bon, and he can cover his. So look at that. Right? You have these 2 people that can cover every single area and angle inside of ring. And this guy that's left R2 can even cover car side. Right? This guy... out here can even look car side, right, through this window if he needs to. This guy over here, right, he can look the left side R2, he can look all the way inside hut, right? This guy can even look all the way inside hut, right? And then you even have this guy on R2 that can look all the way inside hut. And the guy over here, R2, right, he's already on snipe bridge. He's got the angle for snipe bridge right there. And then you even have this other guy, and he can look all the way inside a ring. He can look right here inside the twisty if he needs to on R2. And then let's do another arrow, and this guy can even shoot all the way out here to carbine. So you have all these great angles that you can utilize. Let me just get rid. I'll have to do like one at a time. Oops, did I go too far? I can't undo anymore? No? I have to redo? Oh. Well, anyways, maybe I'll be able to get rid of some of that stuff here in a moment. But as I was saying, these are things that you know, we can go over, fellas, and I really want you know, everyone to really... Oh, I didn't want to save. Did I save this on accident? I didn't want to save this. The long overhead. Let me open. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh, re-look back at it. Once again, those are areas you have to pay attention to because you can do a simple half-map setup like that, right? You can put like a second guy over here, you know, wherever on a ring. And then, once again, this guy has great angles. This guy, once again, has phenomenal angles. Oops, I do not want to draw that second ring. I wanted to get a line. But like I was saying, once again, this guy has here, right? He can look there. He can look rocks, right? He has an angle, you know, there if he really needs to utilize that. He can see if someone comes up Jew. I mean, he has great line of sight, you know, even over there. And those are all the positions you can cover, you know. Right here, these are all the positions you can cover from one guy. So these are just things that you really have to pay attention to, and you have to sit here and say, okay, wow, I need to take a step back and say, wow, I can really look. I really have great line of sight. I have a lot of angles I can utilize. And these are just things that I really want to hammer home with the people out there because you guys don't know shit about choke points. You don't know anything about strategy. It's very sad, it is. And then you have your last choke points. These are your primary choke points. Right, for either side of the map. This is it. I'm going to draw it for y'all right now. Yeah. So this is it. Sure, you know, whatever. They're not probably the same proportionate size. But this is it. Pretty much from right here, let me get a line. I'm going to show you. These are, this is your choke point centers. These are your choke point line of sights. Okay, your choke point areas. Even better yet, look. It looks perfect too, right? Looks like... whatever shape that is, you know, if you look at it. But this is what it is. These are your main choke point areas, and this is your whole area of where if you get this half of the map logged down, they have to come to you from. This is a great thing because now if you are able to log down this area of the map, right, if you are actually efficiently and effectively able to lock down the half map, you already know, right, they're going to be spawning here. They'll be spawning maybe back turret. They might be spawning inside there. They might be spawning back rock or somewhere around there. Shit, they might even spawn right around here besides that rock. So you already know where they're going to be, right? You guys already have an idea of where they'll be coming from because of these 5 main areas or 4 main areas. Really, you just have turret, court. I mean, sure, I guess you could say hut. So probably court, hut, turret, flag, and rocks. Bam. You got those 5 main areas they're going to be coming from. So this is how you break down strategy. This is how you break down a map. You have to understand the map. And you have to really understand, what am I going to do? Where am I going to put myself? What area am I going to be in? What am I going to be watching? What does everyone have to be watching? How do we play out a scenario when 1 or 2 people come in on us? You know, these are things you have to think about. So I really hope that this episode 1 segment on Sanctuary really did you guys a lot of justice. On top of that, I will be following up, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing it on every map. I don't know if I'm going to be, you know, breaking down choke points and like stuff like that on each map. But this was really just a choke point tutorial. I didn't really want to go too in depth with it. I know I talked about some angles and some line of sight things. I'll probably be talking about those and doing a segment on that probably next for episode 2 where we really get into angles and showing you guys all the angles that you can really utilize and how amazing it is based off your positioning. But I really wanted just to hammer home choke points today. I didn't really want to go over a lot of other stuff. I mean, this really sums it up. You know, this shape sums up your choke point areas on Sanctuary. And these are things, once again, fellas, you just have to understand. You have to take the time to say, wow, I get this now. It's been explained to me. I understand this. So once again, I do hope you guys enjoyed Boss Nasty's, the Boss Nasty Academy, episode 1, or Boss Nasty's school. I think I'll just call it the Academy. That sounds good. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode 1 of Boss Nasty's Academy. Or whatever. I'll think of a name, whatever it may be. It might be that. Anyways, but like once again, like I said, thanks everyone for the continued support. I do hope you guys enjoyed this episode. You know, sure as hell no I did. And once again, I'm Justin Boss Nasty Silva, and I'll catch you guys next time.